You know what? I'm beginning to think that I am in the movie Groundhog Day. Every single day is the same thing. I wake up, I see that Ubisoft has yet again fumbled over and did an oopsie, and that's basically the entire day, because every single day they flop something from their game Assassin's Creed Shadows. There hasn't been, I think, a single day in the last week or so that they have not did something that was controversial, that was against Japanese culture and was angering Japanese people. Good evening, ladies and gents, my name is Hiozo the Bearded Balkan Blabbermouth and I am DiscussThing, and today, once again, we'll be talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows and more so Ubisoft. It just doesn't end. It doesn't end with Ubisoft fumbling over, doing an oopsie, doing something to anger Japanese fans and gaming fans all around with their new game Assassin's Creed Shadows. Every single day it was seen that someone somewhere found something that they missed, they did wrong, they intentionally or unintentionally just glossed over and did it as absolute idiots. And these are not small things, mind you, because when you have the premise of the game being historically accurate and authentic as possible, and I will get to that specific quote in a minute, you have set the stage that this game is going to be respectful to the culture that you're trying to represent. Keep in mind, fans have been asking and have been hoping for an Assassin's Creed game based in feudal Japan for, well, probably over a decade, and now they have it, and what they got is a slop. First, let me address something that I have been mentioning for several videos now when I'm talking about Ubisoft. This is an article from The Gamer on August 12th, 2024. That is a little bit before a lot of the things that is a little bit before a lot of the revelations that Assassin's Creed Shadows is fumbling and it's absolutely disrespectful started to come along. Assassin's Creed Shadows' long dev time was to make it as authentic as possible. So that's what they're saying. They were saying that they wanted to make it authentic and respectful as possible. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been in development for 4 years, and while that may seem pretty more given the state of the industry at the moment, that's actually the longest amount of time Assassin's Creed game has been in development. Despite the Odyssey and Valhalla, Shadows will have been in development for 25% longer than the latter when it launches in November this year. This was way before the delays. And here we have Carl Oney, that's how I'm gonna pronounce his name, I'm sorry, who said, "We're trying to create a game that is as authentic as possible. It's something we take pride in, and that is also a very long process. When we build a Japanese house from feudal Japan, it is very different from, say, a French medieval house or an English one. So you have to learn as artists where things go inside the feudal Japanese house. Maybe the food doesn't go there. You have to get everything you need to know and learn it. And that process is long." And a little bit further up is the overall explanation. Assassin's Creed games have always been considered incredible feats of historical accuracy, so much so they can be considered educational tools in some capacity. And Oni explains that getting that level of accuracy right takes time. Exactly what kind of accuracy have you gotten right this time? You have been exposed for wrong banners, wrong writings, wrong architecture, wrong blossoming trees with other crops, wrong armor, wrong symbols from houses, and that's just the very tip of the iceberg that you have been exposed on. And not to mention your protagonist, who is historically not a samurai. And it has gotten so bad that I actually missed one of the things that were exposed a week ago, and this is from Smash JT, and I didn't cover this in my past video just because there was so much already out there that I simply forgot, for which I am sorry. Ubisoft botches Assassin's Creed Shadows Collector's Edition Wall Scroll, and Japanese fans are furious. These are Japanese fans that are furious, and why? Because there is Chinese calligraphy, not Japanese. There is thin, unbalanced lines, incorrect text placement and layout, Red ink is extremely rare. Improper aspect ratio and compositions. Now these things, and I will link this article in the description below, these things might sound like petty beefs, but when we talk about Japanese writing, you know that these are people that are very, very keen to having everything in order and everything done right, especially when you have something that is tied to their culture, to their ancient culture, to their history, and to something that is being represented as part of their very, very rich history of their nation. But it doesn't end there. This is a post from Grums, and Packer Girl also reported on this with her own tweets, and it says that a statue of the guardian deity Kashima-sama in the Akita prefecture, this is from a translated post by the way, is treated as just a big scare and ornament in a work set in the Kansai region. It's like they're not even doing any research anymore. This is from a Japanese account. Here we have the translation from the in-game version, titled Große Vögel Schühe. Translation: large scarecrow. Text: Vögel und Menschen bekommen gleichermaßen einen Schrecken, wenn sie diesem Koloss gegenüberstechen. Man, my German needs some practice. And translation: birds and people alike get a fright when they face this color. So basically, the whole explanation is from as a typical scarecrow. And I did a small amount of digging, and I do need to emphasize that it was a small amount because that's all it took. This is the Kashima-sama straw dolls, and while we can assume from the explanation that I'm going to read now that it is kind of protective stuff around the whole doll, that they serve as a spiritual protector, as a warding against evil. And let me just read that. The 4 metal tall straw dolls, have been passed down in the Iwasaki district for several centuries, and 3 dolls are enshrined. Since ancient times, Kashima-sama dolls were worshipped for having a divine power to drive away evil things and spirits and plagues. So basically they are against evil. They're wards off against evil energies, against evil magic, and placed at the entrance of the village. Today their clothes are changed twice a year in the spring and fall, and festivals are held to pray for the safety of one's family and good harvest. They're praying to these dolls, by the way. Kashima-sama has been highly acclaimed as an artistic and resource created through its 2,000 years of Japanese rice farming culture, invited to the Smithsonian Folklife Festival in 1986, and is also exhibited in the National Museum of Japanese History in Sakura City, Chiba Prefecture. Where exactly did you get from what I just explained, which is publicly available information? I'm not a Japanese expert, and I'm not hired by Ubisoft to research Japanese culture for them, and I'm certainly not someone who is writing historical accuracy edits on Wikipedia to fit the narrative that I want to present in the game. I'm just a normal guy on YouTube, and I found this in 10 seconds after just researching and typing the name in Google, and I did this in seconds. This is all it took for someone like me to get the information right. And what Ubisoft did was treat it as a motherfucking scarecrow. This is beyond insulting for any culture. This is not just for Japanese culture. This is for any culture on earth when you're trying to depict them. I would absolutely hate it if they represent Slavic culture and they have these things botched to absolute indistinguishable and dumbed down version of what is actually depicted in history. I did love this post from a person named Jiropo, who's apparently also a Japanese tweeter. This is in relation to the whole debacle of those Guardians. I wouldn't mind if a thunderbolt fell on the Ubi Quebec studio, but the power of Japanese gods is limited to Japan. However, the main deity of Kashima Shrine, Takebi Kazuchi no Okami, is a god of war, so it seems possible that he could be applied to overseas expeditions. So basically, they're calling for divine punishment on the Ubisoft Quebec office at this point. So basically, that's how you anger one of the calmest nations in the world. But wait, there is more. I talked about this on my stream yesterday, the Coffee Thought stream, where I was half asleep. However, I do need to address this. Assassin's Creed Shadows director will listen to warranted criticism from Japanese fans. What the fuck does warranted criticism mean? Who is the one that decides what warranted criticism is. Criticism is two things, either constructive or non-constructive. Non-constructive will be if someone is just shouting nonsense and slurs at you without any reason. Everything else that has reason, that has any logic to it, that has any legitimate concerns on any kind regarding your product or what you stand for is called legitimate criticism, and you don't get to warrant what that criticism is. But no, it actually gets even better than that. He says that they'll try to listen to the Japanese fans, and if there is good and warranted criticism, they will try to take it in. But on the whole, they're mainly focused on delivering an outstanding game. First of all, you were basically 2 weeks away from releasing this goddamn game. 2 weeks. What exactly are you going to do in those 2 weeks that would change anything? Your game has already been leaked. You already have people reviewing it online and playing it. You already have everything set up that you just need to now wait and focus on your marketing, which the marketing, by the way, is abhorrent. You ratioed grumps. However, your ratio just exposed even more of your duplicity, how you don't allow comments on your marketing materials, which is weird because you should be open with fans to say what they like about your promotional materials, right? Or are we wrong and you just want to control the narrative to absolute full control and don't allow anything to tell you anything what to do? Is that what you mean by warranted? That's how you want to handle it? Please explain to us in the remaining 13 days. And all the while that this is happening, we have another update. Yasuke Simulator has been climbing steadily every day, and I'm going to refresh to just see, nope, 784 plays, but this is past the 800 mark. We have also had a lot of influx on Twitch, which means that people have been starting to play it, and other people have started to watch those playthrough. This game is janky as fuck. It is absolutely buggy on every level, and yet I would prefer playing this one over Assassin's Creed Shadows. At least this one does it in parody. It doesn't pretend to be historically accurate, authentic, respectful, and all those words that are absolutely unfamiliar to Ubisoft at this moment. I don't know how many more grains of sand will it take to just topple the whole construction that is Ubisoft, because it would seem that every little pebble that falls on their structure is shaking the grounds of what Ubisoft is as a company even more. And even though expectations are that Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to sell very well, or at least well enough, I personally don't think so. I think that Assassin's Creed Shadows will flop financially. It might sell 1 million or 2 copies, but with a budget that is estimated at probably around 200 million or more, that's not counting the marketing budget, I think that this is going to flop spectacularly, just because people will buy it. Some people will buy it, and the other people are just going to cautiously wait to see if it's worth it and will stop buying it. There will also be refunds. That is something I am absolutely sure, in droves. And I think that the overall experience from the gamers will be very, very negative in the end. I might be wrong. We have 13 days to see what's going to happen. However, if Ubisoft continue to daily fuck things over more and more, it might just be enough, and it might just topple everything even before the release and would leave this game in the dust completely. They have already angered an entire nation, and they continue to do so, and they might just awaken a very, very large beast against them that would eat them whole. Anyways, that's all I have for this video today. Thank you very much for watching if you did for so long. If you enjoyed my video, click the like, click the subscribe button, and click the join button if you want to support me and become part of the DiscussThing Guild. It will be much appreciated and will help me with YouTube and my journey to becoming full-time creator here very much. If you have any comments and you want to share your thoughts, please put them in the comment section below. And if you want to help homeless animals and animals in shelters, please click the Patreon link down in the description below. Follow me on my socials. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Hiozo. This was DiscussThing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.